Alright, my number 4 favorite movie of all time is two movies: The Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, these two are extremely hard to separate because I love them equally. Honestly, I've been thinking for at least a year now, like, which do I really like better, Robocop or Terminator? And I have to give it to Terminator, but it's almost as if I can admit or come to the conclusion that it's basically because I saw Terminator first. Starting with the first movie, it's actually, yes, I said Terminator 1 and 2 on like a tie, but if I'm really honest, and I've come to this conclusion myself in the last few months, I like Terminator 1 better. Just a little bit more, was what I mean. Terminator 2 is obviously, it's easier to say that that's the better movie because it's so much more polished. It has amazing effects still, and it's action-packed but deep at the same time, and it has good characters that start somewhere and end somewhere. But I still like the first one just a little bit more. First of all, I like Arnold Schwarzenegger better as the villain than the good guy. That's just an easy point. Second of all, the Terminator 2 is drenched in atmosphere, while Terminator 2 isn't. Terminator 2 is like suspenseful and blah blah blah, but Terminator 1 is just, it's dark and all the lights are really like glowy and it's really drab and no, it's gritty is what I'm trying to say. And it's almost like a horror movie, and like the whole movie is just, you're in this tight atmosphere all the time, whereas in Terminator 2 you get slightly pulled out of it when they're like racing down the whatever, listening to Guns N' Roses, and everything looks very clean. There's very little that, even when you go into the insane asylum, everything is still very clean and pristine, sort of. But the first movie is just, I don't know. And you might say it's very 80s, but to me that's not a bad thing. I mean, you've got me burning. Lance Henriksen doesn't get more 80s than that. The assault on the police station is one of my favorite parts. This movie also has one of the most underrated lines ever when Kyle is giving all this information out about John Connor, right? And after hearing everything about John, how he's going to save humanity and everything, she just says like, "Well, at least now I know what to name him." And it's like, yeah, I guess it would be really weird if she just to fuck with history, renamed him to Rutger or Harold or Gaylord or something. Savior of humanity, Gaylord Connor. As I said, Arnold is amazing as the villain. The music is really great. I really do like the synthesizer music a lot, even though Terminator 2's music is way more is of a higher quality, is very bombastic and everything. And Terminator 2 also does slow down a little bit in the middle when they go out to the desert, and the T-1000 disappears from the movie while Sarah goes into Terminator mode, which is a really good character development for her, and also for John. And as I said, the characters do have a better arc than in the first movie, really, but apart from Sarah Connor, I guess. But I still have to give it to the first movie. In Terminator 2, when he goes in the biker bar, when he says, "I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle," his face doesn't look entirely serious about it. Whereas in Terminator 1, I'm always like, he's gonna kill them now, isn't he? And then he in Terminator 2, I mean, he goes off to bad to the bone. It's kind of like, I mean, I love that scene, but in a way, it's like a parody almost, like bad to the bone. Like, okay, so I'm supposed to take this seriously or aren't I? Like, but Terminator 1 is just serious all the way. And I have to mention also that in the deleted scenes, Terminator 2 has a bunch of deleted scenes that actually should be in there, like the one part where they take out the chip, and they have, instead of having like CG or whatever, they have Linda Hamilton's twin inside of a hole in the wall to look like there's a mirror when there's really not, and the Arnold in the foreground is a dummy, and it's like that's amazingly done. But in Terminator 1, most of the scenes you could actually do without, except I really love one of them when they, at the end, they roll out Sarah from the factory, and then the camera pulls out, and it's the Cyberdyne building. Like Cyberdyne, like without even knowing it, so fucking ironic. She goes to run away from Cyberdyne's product. She goes into the Cyberdyne factory and helps, while she does destroy the Terminator, she helps them survive by leaving evidence behind in their factory. That should have been left in. But Terminator 1 is just a joy to watch. It just gets me, and I really do think that the future in AI could lead to something potentially negative. I don't know, but it seems very plausible. Even though, you know, a robot with skin doesn't seem plausible, and them going back in time doesn't seem possible. But the concept of AI, whatever, seems possible. So it's a believable movie, I think, fairly believable enough. And yeah, I just love every second of it, every time I watch it.